Good morning. Sorry I'm late. I was fucking with some tabs. Daily's hard. But it forces me to be disciplined by defining the topic straight up. I'm forced to commit to it and make it work. And sometimes what I found interesting about this is that I will decide on a topic and then overnight think of a better topic to talk about. And but because I actually schedule posts that advertise this stream every day, I'm locked in. But what I want to do is, because Fridays are cool and relaxed, and I want to do Dumb Fuck Friday. I want Fridays to be Dumb Fuck Fridays. Okay? Because there's an awful lot of dumb fucks out there. And I know that people who've been following me on my political journey have probably seen me oscillate a little bit between trying to figure things out. And I just realized that I hate dumb fucks. Okay? Now, I've been spending a lot of time making fun of the dumb fucks, the dumb woke fucks on the left, because I woke up to them pretty recently, and I just went through a bit of a grieving process. But you know what? There's some fucking dumb fucks on the right too. And so I think we need to dedicate Fridays to the pretty unempathetic, but slightly lighter dumb fucks. So anyway, it is linked to what I actually planned to talk about anyway, which was this thing where I feel like people are slowly starting to get it, and hopefully in the next couple of months we might start to see that Taya's not so crazy. The people who you've called Nazis and those things aren't so fucking wrong, aren't so crazy. They just saw it earlier, right? And I want to use comedy as an example, just because I'm starting to see that dam breaking bit by bit, post Chapelle, post Burr. Stanhope's been quite quiet. I'd be interested to see what happens there. But I think one thing that I do believe, having studied history and politics, that these things are cyclical and that the systems do self-correct. And I actually do believe that, yes, we are in sort of a culture war, but there are little glimmers that people generally come back to sanity pretty quickly, I hope. Because if we don't come back to sanity, we're in the middle of fucking World War III. I prefer to choose that. I prefer to believe that we're coming, that we've gone through a period of craziness. Institutions are dying, and desperately dying. The New York Times is clamoring. And you'll see what I talk about. Like, they're just fucking, they don't realize that they're actually the butt of the joke most of the time. And so I thought I'd keep this lighthearted. I don't know if anyone's on the chat. I need to, hang on, just let me, every day I think I've got everything sorted, and then I don't. So yeah, I'm aware that 9 a.m. Perth time is probably not the best time. It's just the best time for me because I can just get it over with and get it done. I'm thinking about doing a couple of streams later in the day so that those who want to, because most people are at work, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I reckon, as I was saying to Paul this morning, I don't think that tinkering with the time that I stream is the problem. I don't think that changing it is suddenly going to get me traction, but at least I would like to vary it. So if there is a particular time that everyone likes, I'm happy to work around that. But I also want this to be fun and workable for me, so that I'm getting enough sleep. I'm still meeting my requirements. 9 a.m. is good because it forces me to get up, get ready, get focused, be ready, you know, all of that sort of stuff. But I'm also aware that if you want to be on the chats, then or you want to be on it, if this ever gets to a point where it's monetized and people want to give me super chats, it would be good to do the optimal time for that. So again, I'm assuming, I'm not assuming anything like that, but it would yeah. So anyway, people are very generous and they're supportive, and any bit helps. So anyway, so thank you for coming, joining me. If you are, I actually can't see if there are people watching. So the only way that I know that anyone's watching is through chats. So, and I'm assuming that they're working, there's a new chat. I've been wanting to show off my chat box for a long, what the fuck happened? Chat box. See, I've been wanting to show off my chat box. It's working. No one came to my party. I'm traumatized. I'm lonely. Tell you what, as soon as I start making $500 a month from this, I promise to eat a banana. Or not eat a banana, depending on how you feel. Anyway, whatever. Okay. So, I'm waffling. It's Friday. I'm chill. But it's all good. So, today is Dumb Fuck Friday. And we've got an awful lot of dumb fucks. And I think that there is actually serious undertones to this, which is that it helps to sort of illustrate where I sit politically, in the sense that I feel qualified to make fun of these dumb fucks. I've been making fun of dumb woke fucks mostly because they're on my side. It's like, every family's got a fucking retarded cousin that they mess with and, think it's funny, and they just go, oh, fuck, you're so dumb, right? But it's with love, and because we're in the same family. That's why I've realized this, and I need to recalibrate. I want to make a thing where I actually call out some of the right dumb fucks, right, for their behavior, because I still believe, and evidence backs this up, that a lot of this stuff is still, the right still very much work on provoking the left and doing all of that gaslighty, fucking provoking, that abusive shit that makes them react in a way, and then they sit back and laugh and gloat. And yes, it can be funny. Dumb fucks are funny. That's why we're doing Dumb Fuck Fridays, and I'm going to show you a particular breed of dumb fuck today. In fact, quite a couple. But I'll be talking about comedy as well. But yeah, it's all the same theme. Because dumb fucks don't like comedy. And therefore they become the comedy. So, bear with me. Okay. Some days I have slightly more ADD than others. And today is a particularly fucking Fridays I get tired and I'm not feeling well. So, soldier on. Let's do this. So, I know I'm a bit late to the party here, but I'm noticing an emerging theme. And there's also nothing wrong with taking a bit of time to form your thoughts. So I'm not sitting here, I'm not Tim Pool doing a hot take in the last 24 hours. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a news presenter. I'm a fucking dickhead blogger. I don't know what I am. I'm just having fun. And just sharing thoughts. So there's nothing wrong with taking some time and just reflecting and trying to build a perspective that's slightly different. You want hot takes? This isn't the place. You want rambling and clumsiness and calamity and embarrassing videos? That's fine. The occasional tears? That's the place to go. Anyway, so I do that too much. I also say okay, and now I've pointed it out, it's going to drive you nuts. Okay, must be Friday. It's casual Friday. Let's do this. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay, Dumb Fuck Friday. I've noticed a pattern in the last month, post Chapelle. I did a video about Dave Chapelle and his material, and about how Vice magazine told people not to watch it because it was triggering and transphobic and all of that stuff, right? And then Daphne, the trans woman that was mentioned in Chapelle's special, unfortunately and very sadly committed suicide. And of course, woke journos turn around and say, well, they're fucking right. It's like, no, that wasn't the reason, and they were friends. Actually, in fact, I'm changing who my dumb fucks are. Dumb fucks are all these woke fucks who don't actually see that they're part of the joke, that they are the punchline. Their reaction is the butt of the joke, because they appoint themselves as the representative of the oppressed while sitting in their fucking office and they're fucking on their dad's credit cards, and they sit there and they just fucking churn out. And again, I'm not saying there's not a systemic problem here, because one thing I do know about having sold copywriting and all of those sorts of services is that copywriters don't earn a lot of money per article. I think in America, it could be as low as like $25, right? The generous ones are sort of $200. That's why I don't fucking write for a living, because it doesn't pay grown-up money. So just so you know, these think pieces, they have to A, churn out a lot of them, and B, they have to churn them out quickly, and they have, in order to make a living wage, they need to just fucking keep finding things to talk about. So I'm not saying that they're not victims of the machine necessarily. I'm not, you know what I meant with that phrase. It didn't make any sense to me in my head, but you know what I meant. I'm acknowledging that the system, to an extent, creates this, right? And I talked about this in previous videos about clickbait, getting money, sensational headlines, right? There is a difference between clickbait and sensational headlines, but, finding a hot take on a popular issue drives traffic, get money for ads, they underpay the journalist. It's a machine that's the core of the problem. Right, is advertising revenue is too low, and the quality of everything is just low. It's basically just sweatshops of content, right? So and I think that's just most media is now falling victim to that. So I'm sitting in the middle here, but I'm making fun of because these people have a lot of cultural power. Right, and there's everyday people that don't know that they're being misled or misrepresented, or not misrepresented. The facts are being misrepresented. It's just an opinion, and they don't understand the conditions. It's like people who shop at Cotton On. They don't understand that everything that goes into making that cheap shirt. They just want the cheap shirt, the $4 t-shirt. They don't understand everything behind that. It's very similar in this fucking landscape. Okay, junior people, these things, just so you know, they don't pay grown-up money. Grown-up journalists have probably all moved into PR, content, copywriting for corporates and those sorts of things. So there's very few serious journalists making serious money these days, okay? But that's just so you know, they're all juniors. Okay. This is fucked, because they also end up being the butt of the joke, which feeds the outrage cycle, which feeds another article, which then makes, and it's such a beast, right? That read some Noam Chomsky, Manufacturing Consent, right? It's a little bit outdated because it doesn't really talk about online media, but it's very much the same. The media very much feed into the empire, right, and into government and into propaganda and all of that sort of stuff, right? So I don't blame the individual journalists. I just think that the wheels have fallen off, and media is dying, right? If you've tried to use Foxtel lately, you'll know what I mean. The fact that they just have a monopoly in the Australian TV market and is just the worst, most expensive product, but it's like, fucking hell. Anyway. Okay. No chats? Well, fine then. Go be somewhere else. Never liked you anyway. I did. It's fucking Friday morning and people have better things to do than listen to my fucking rambling shit on how media works. But anyway. Fridays, I'm deliberately making them a little bit more relaxed and unstructured. Okay. So I guess that it was important to explain the context there with media, because I think people put too much emphasis on, like, yes, they are elites. Like when you use the word elite, it's their cultural elites. They're not necessarily financially elite, right? That said, those that can afford to live that way are generally living with their parents or subsidised and those sorts of things. So they're often very wealthy or very poor and desperate, right? That's the two kind of people that are just writing this fucking shit. It's just the reality, okay? It's just the reality of the industry and why I don't write for a living, okay? It's why design money is much better, trust me. So I know I've sort of rambled a little bit, but the main theme with this is that I've seen the dam burst with Barack Obama coming out and just saying, all right, enough. All right, cancel culture, this woke shit, very similar things to what I've been saying, right? And there's and I guess for me, I'm seeing this happen to comedians who are traditionally fairly progressive thinkers. Ricky Gervais, firmly on the left, who's been called, I'm going to actually use Gervais as the best example of this the excesses of this woke bullshit, because he's just not. And he's fallen afoul to the same thing that I have, but he's rich enough to survive it. I'm not, okay? I'm critical of my own family and not, that's the right's job, is to fucking pull their people into line. That said, I am going to do a thing where I drag them for the provocations. But I'm highly critical of the woke fucks because I believe that they're not representative of progressive movements, and it gives these right-wing fuckers ammunition to cast us all with the same brush. Do you know how much I sit there trying to explain that wokeism is not representative of progressive politics, right? Much like the most extreme genderists and extreme trans rights activists are not representative of your average trans person. Much like that red-headed loony fuck that was on Q&A the other night inciting violence against men, which is not okay, and I'm a feminist, right? She is not representative of the feminist movement. She's representative of the worst aspects of the modern feminist movement, which has gone completely batshit. Let's make classical feminism a thing. I'm doing a video on that next week. I'm stating my case for it to be its own discrete movement, right? Because I'm sick of these fuckwits ruining good ideas, okay? And that's why I think I need to make it clear that these misunderstandings, I'm not fucking sitting there. It's not my job to attack the right. It's my job to defend the left. Okay? And not let the most toxic people take over everything that we've worked for in progressive politics. I don't see the right as the enemy for the most part, but I'm fucking sick of this toxic extremism with fucking everyone it's bullshit, and I'm done. So anyway, Obama coming out saying, enough children. That was good, okay? Then Dave Chapelle was getting the Mark Twain Award. This was after, all of this woke shit, and then Daphne died, and he still just went, fuck it. Okay, and this is what I'm seeing a lot of people have done, is just go, fuck this, I've had enough, I'm done with you fucks. And that's why I want to talk about Louis C.K. briefly and then dive into Ricky Gervais, because I want to fucking defend Ricky Gervais. He doesn't need my help, but maybe if I suck on the proverbial comedian dick, I might get, I get a little bit of fucking brownie points with Ricky Gervais. I don't know. Sound like a fucking loser. Okay. So, but I'm just going to show you the Dave Chappelle video because it was funny, because it's just at the end. It kills me every time. He don't give a fuck. He's got nothing to prove, right? The most problematic person in the world winning the most prestigious comedy award in the world and still just going, yeah, whatever, fuck it. They're going to misunderstand me. They're going to misrepresent me. What's the point? I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And that's what Ricky's doing. Okay. So let's play this thing.
Political correctness has its place, excuse me. We all want to live in a polite society. We just have to kind of work on the levels and come to an agreement of what that actually looks like. I personally am not afraid of other people's freedom of expression. I don't use it as a weapon. It just makes me feel better, and I'm sorry if I hurt anybody, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. Everything I'm supposed to say.
I nicked that I nicked it from the Hill Twitter feed. I had to download it because OBS is a pain in the ass to play video in line. But I know people have seen it, but it just it just shows that there's nothing you can do with these cunts, right? Absolutely nothing that you can do, and that's why they're just the butt of the joke, because they're never going to get that they're the butt of the joke, okay? And that's where I think the genius is. And it's come out that Louis C.K. has doubled down, which is great. I'm not going to talk too much about him because he doesn't have material out yet. When I see it, I'll comment on it. I don't like I don't like secondhand information. I like to see the act for myself as a comedy nerd. But, you know, Obama's going, enough, children. Dave Chapelle's going, enough, children. Louis C.K., fucking enough. Ricky Gervais, fuck off, enough. And Elizabeth Warren doubles down on the wokeness and starts fucking using pronouns and pandering to these fuckwits on Twitter. And so, is it? Oh, the stream's laggy. It shouldn't be. The internet's fine. I've got a green light here. Oh, well. I'm just going to soldier on with that. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so, you know, like on one hand, you've got the presidential candidates fucking doubling down on woke. Now, the only reason, I'm just talking about US politics just because I'm interested in that. But this can equally apply to us. I'm also watching a number of prominent feminists in Australia being very careful with their words, but I can tell that they're on side with this shit. They're starting to see the excesses of it. Okay. One prominent feminist, I won't name her, but she did a tweet yesterday about that men shouldn't police women's bodies, menstrual cycles, and those sorts of things. And someone said, that's Islamophobic. Those are the fuckwits that we're laughing at, okay? We're laughing at the people who, when a woman talks about female biology, female functions, turns around and goes, but men have periods too. No, they don't. And that will lead into this fucking... Speaking of Fuckwit Friday, Fuckwit Friday, I'm going to show you this fucking article only because I need to talk about... And I don't understand... Look, I'm a digital strategist. I don't understand how this shit works. Right? Where we screen share. Why do they always have this hair? They always have the fucking stupid red hair. Anyway, yeah. And look at the glazy eyes and all that shit. So we've got a stereotype here. Woke glaze, fucking Instagram face, makeup, fucking all of that stuff. But anyway, I want to show you this, right? This poor little kid. Look what she made him do. Some men have periods too. If I can get it, so can you. No, you can't, kid. You're a boy. This is the shit that is spreading, right? This is flat earth shit. This is, and it's a fucking, and when I talk about the excesses of the gender movement, I'm saying that there are these dumb fucks on Dumb Fuck Friday who truly believe this, that through their slippery linguistics and semantics, that we need to just assume that there's dumb fucks, okay, that are going to build a cult around any fucking idea. And this, when I talk about the cult, this is fucking real, okay? A weird ass cult with a fucking uniform, right? Look at the Hitler. This is basically, look, the Hitler Youth with red hair. All right, this is authoritarian fucking bullshit. And I just want to point something out. This woman has 172,000 Instagram followers, right? But look at this. Some men have periods, some non-binary. No, they don't. Females have periods, males don't. Women have periods, men do not, for the most part. Okay? Any variation from that is a medical condition. Dumb fuck Fridays, everybody. Anyway, Eli. Why the fuck are these weirdos kids always called Eli and fucking, like, I'm not saying every fucking kid that I've met called Eli has a batshit crazy woke glazed mother, but all of the woke glazed fucking crazy mothers seem to name their kid Eli. Isn't that a Jewish name? I hope she's Jewish, because that would be cultural appropriation. Anyway, so Eli has been told about periods. They're obsessed with these fucking bodily functions, man. I've never seen a group of people more obsessed with their fucking bodily fluids than these people. It's just like, it's creepy, fetishy, like, ugh. Okay, that's not about, I'm not saying we shouldn't destigmatize periods, but you also just have some class. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, so Eli has been told about periods since he saw blood on my pants a couple of years ago. I no longer have them now. Here's the confessional. Who gives a fuck? I didn't use the language of women have periods because it's not entirely inclusive. No, but it is fucking accurate, you dumb fuck. This is the dumb fuck award of the week, man. Although people, seriously, if you want to have a fucking very strong competition, Chief Dumb Fuck on a weekly basis is the most fucking prestigious and hard-fought fucking award out there, because this woman only appeared yesterday and I had others. Trans men may have female sex organs. No, they have female sex organs. There's no fucking quotes around it. You are spreading this shit to 174,000 people. But this is the fucking deliciousness, right? I went to her profile and her stories, man. She's illiterate. Oh, can you look at stories on you can't. No, but look at this, right? Look at this chick. Oh, mental illness. Everyone I know, look at this gross fucking, look. Yeah, okay. This is someone who gets 174,000 followers and I can barely get 2 people watching my fucking YouTube. I wanted to show her stories, but they seem to have disappeared. Fuck, oh well. But they were really bad and they were basically all misspelled. How is she a public speaker? Of course she's a vegan. Mental health awareness. You know what? Like, I'm very much aware of your mental health and mental state, and it's not my problem. It's not society's problem. Anyway, I have a feeling that these are mostly bot followers, but it was just, anyway, I digress from that. So, but who the fuck? This is not uncommon, right? This kid's going to grow up thinking he's a girl because he likes fucking pink. Mark my words, right? And I see that there's a Munchausen's by proxy thing going on with increasingly younger children with batshit crazy parents who are transing their kids for woke points and Instagram followers and money and public appearances, right? And this isn't me going, the sky is falling. I am compassionate and empathetic to the needs of trans children, but people need to wake the fuck up. We are head fucking and sterilizing a whole generation of children. And no one seems to give a fuck. Anyway. Well, my video just got fucking taken down from YouTube. Anyway, I feel so strongly about this. This is the one thing that I just get really fucking upset about. So anyway, Barack Obama calls out online call-out culture. That's not activism. Yeah, and that's my point. And this is why I'm so glad, and whether Barack Obama is on the left or not is like, that's by the by, right? But this is what I've been saying, that the grown-ups on the left, like, I don't like that term, but Democrats, right? The grown-ups need to parent their children tell them to shut the fuck up, okay, know their place, and fucking quit this crap. Because we have the vast majority of US presidential candidates now announcing their pronouns, which is just bonkers, okay? We have the former president, a very popular one, and a dark president. But of course, I just want to, this is Rolling Stone because it was do you know how hard it is to find an article that literally just has the headline that reports what was said without some version of it, right? The fucking New York Times, right, who are supposed to be, I think they're the paper of record, as they call themselves, right? Where is it? Nope. Oh, here we go. Drinking game? Okay, boomer. Obama's very boomer view of cancel culture. Here we go. New York Times doubling down on the fuckwitness. Okay. Old, powerful people often seem to be more upset by online criticism than they are by injustice. No. They're actually upset by bullies with a lot of power calling everybody a fucking fascist, right? And I've talked about this quite a few times, and there's a theme here, which is it's not about the belief, it's about the behaviour. Your behaviour stinks. And regardless of whether I agree with you or not, and the same with Obama, whether we agree with you or not, your behaviour fucking sucks. Okay? Enough. And more people need to say enough, and this is why I'm starting to feel optimistic, right? I'm not trying to sit here and go, I'm not trying to be like Tim Pool. This is coming from me, fucking diehard, Labor, lefty, fucking, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, enough, children. I am done with your bullshit. Science matters, knowledge matters, theory matters, and reputations matter. Right? You cannot go around saying all of these fucking defamatory, insulting things that's not an argument. Okay? I'm so fucking tired of this like bullshit. And I know I got pissed off, but I'm just fucking sick of this. I'm doing a thing about the people who are staying quiet. Now, look, I understand why they stay quiet, because they end up treated like fucking everyone goes dead silent and is afraid to speak up like I am. But meanwhile, I get to be a lone voice in the wilderness where no one says fuck all. Because I feel like I have to say something. And meanwhile, people that I used to respect in terms of progressive politics are sitting around making excuses for these violent little fucks. It's not okay. Okay? I am not politically homeless. There are squatters in my house, and I want them the fuck out. Anyway, 2020, health permitting, I'm getting more active, and I'm done with these little shits who are terrorizing everybody. This is not how you run the world, okay? Now, I apologize. I can't see the chats. They're not coming up. They work fucking erratically, okay? Whatever. If there is lag, then that is. That's just the nature of live streams, okay? I'm getting green lights the whole time, so if there are lags, it must be a server problem, okay? Because I'm monitoring the traffic and it's fine. And I'm also streaming on Ethernet, so I shouldn't have too many dropouts. But at the end of the day, we're at the mercy of the tech. Can't do anything about it. I'm not going to fuck with tech settings on a live stream. And I've also gone too long anyway, so if I need to kill this, I'll kill it. But this is the fucking shit, right? Can't even say, behave yourselves, because then it's, okay, boomer. No, he had a valid point, okay? Which is that these people are a mob, okay? They have no sense of how things actually work. They have no sense of justice. They have no respect for speech, freedom of speech. They have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for women. They have no respect for hard-fought rights. They have no respect for history. They have no respect for anything other than their own likes retweets, Patreon accounts, and all that shit, right? Now, I'd make a fuck ton more money because I could shit out woke content till the cows come home, right? Anyway, so thank you for joining me if you are there. I can't seem to see the chats. I've had tech problems with Restream. I'm looking at alternatives, but it just stopped working a few days ago and I don't know what's going on. So it's annoying, but it is what it is. So, but anyway, I want to get to Ricky Gervais. I'm not going to apologise for going too long. They take as long as they take. It's Friday. Watch if you watch, don't watch, whatever. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm just sick of this shit. I'm just sick of this shit because what this does is it actually gives ammunition to the people that I've been to, do you know how many fucking MRA right-wing fuckers think I'm on their side now just because I'm making fun of woke people? It's like, no, that doesn't mean I agree with you either, you know, and I'm just fucking sick of this. We need to clean up house. We need to get rid of these fucking idiots. Okay? I'm serious. Tell them to shut up. Okay. So anyway, something completely surprising and completely not predictable at all happened. Where are we? Where to go? Fucking hell. One day I'll have my shit together. Here we go. Ricky Gervais on Halloween. He's taken a special interest in Jessica Yaniv, which is funny. But people didn't get the joke. Funny how Yaniv is not a trans woman when it suits them, but is a trans woman when it suits them. Which is it? Okay. I believe, so this is great. I was going to dress up as something weird and creepy for my Halloween party, but I'm bucking the trend this year and I'm going as brave female activist Jessica Yaniv. This also means I don't have to wax my big old hairy balls. It's just like, and a big ass photo. This appeared in my feed and I was just like, this is, it's funny. All right. We shouldn't do a side by side. I look like a before and after photo. Anyway, but fuck, it's clear the joke that he's hey, go, set a clock, set a clock, set a clock. He transphobic. Fans slam Ricky Gervais for saying he dressed up as transgender activist Jessica Yaniv for Halloween. See, the good thing is that since Jessica lost her case, she's probably going to not be relevant. So Ricky Gervais is actually quite ironically doing Jessica Yaniv a favour because eventually she will, hi, Erica Raven Branch Butler. That's a big, long name. Thank you. I am awesome. Not so a bit waffly, but anyway, I just want for those who come to my live streams, it's often worth going sort of forward 10 minutes because once I get going, I'm usually good, but I do tend to sort of meander and waffle for about 10 minutes. It's just because I've got to get going. I've got to get riffing, but once I do, I'm good. So if you do soldier on through these things, I'm so grateful because I am aware that I can't go in swinging, but if you stay with me through it, there's nuggets there. Okay. So anyway, woke fucks lost their shit with no fucking surprises, right? Comedian Ricky Gervais has come under fire. This machine, right? Machine. Someone's got to make some money for $50 an article or whatever the fuck they get paid, okay? Oh, I might write about this outrage. And then they report on the outrage. And then it feeds the machine. And then everyone gets outraged. And then everyone looks at all these ads. And guess who makes the money? Google, Facebook, Twitter. Okay? And ad networks and all those people. So they make the money, okay? This is what we need to address. So yes, outrage. Oh, hang on, what's this one? Here we go. This one fucking made me laugh. Ricky Gervais is slowly transitioning into David Brent. No, he's a comedian. He made a joke. And Jessica Yaniv is probably behind people like McKinnon and a few other people, is probably the least sympathetic target that you could imagine. But of course, there's always that handful of people that think that they represent everybody who missed the joke. And then there's an article on it about an outrage from probably about, 10 people, right? And there you go. Add dollars, ching ching. And Ricky knows this, right? Trump knows this. Ricky Gervais knows this. Dave Chapelle knows this. I know this. This is something that the left, it's just such a blind spot. It's funny, right? You either get comedy or you don't. You either believe comedy is free or you police comedy. And in which case, if you think comedy isn't free, you should get the fuck out of comedy. Okay? Thank you. But yeah, it was just this hot takes. It's like he's turning into David Brent. No, he always, if you know Ricky, he always said that David Brent was like an extreme representation of his internal fucking state, right? Again, you don't understand David Brent. David Brent is someone that you love in spite being a fucking dick, right? And David Brent is a mirror for other people, right? Again, you don't fucking get comedy. So anyway, but there was this thing. Guess who fucking chimed in? Yeah, the wokest of the woke. There are people who genuinely find this joke not only funny, but also original and edgy. Fucking... He's such a shithead. He just shares it. And then he just shares the article with a fucking laughing emoji and he doesn't give a fuck. It's like, he doesn't care because he knows and he understands that most ordinary people, he understands his audience, right? I want to talk about some marketing stuff, right? Marketing 101. First of all, know who your audience is, but more critically, understand who your audience is not. And what you do is you use polarization and jokes and tribalism and all of the psychology behind that in order to entertain and attract the audience that is your audience, right? That's marketing. Ricky Gervais is clever. Not only a very clever comedian, but a very clever clever marketer, okay? Because he knows who his audience is not and he doesn't please them and he doesn't pander to them. Same as me. I don't give a fuck. I know who my audience is and is not, okay? And who my clients are and are not. I don't want to work with fuckwits any more than anyone else does. And I'd rather be dead broke fucking under a house than have to tolerate any more fuckwits. I don't have time for that shit. Whatever. Anyway, so Ricky Gervais, he just fucking doubles down. This is actually, okay, this is the thing I wanted to show you now, because I legit can't figure out if it's satire or not. Where the fuck is it? This. Now, I looked at the account. It looks like it's satire, but there was an exchange that makes it look like it's not. Like, this is where we are. I legit cannot tell. I think it is. So if I'm wrong and it is satire, forgive me, okay? But this was, no, you can make jokes about anyone and you don't need to make press groups feel like shit to make jokes about them. You don't need slurs to make jokes. Here's some trans jokes that didn't need any slurs to be funny. This isn't a hard concept. And this is just because truth and fucking parody have I just don't understand any. I literally cannot tell. Because there's people that are serious that do this, right? And these are the fucking hilarious memes as alternatives to one of arguably the greatest comedy writers of all time punching down. It's a gut buster, isn't it? More brilliant satire. Yes, that's actually very interesting because he is turning his back on women in pursuit of a mystery fucking adventure. Anyway, whatever. What? That's kind of funny, but like it's not even This thing, it's not even close. I don't know, because when you actually look at some of the memes in that community, right, they're that bad. So apparently you can't make woke comedy that's funny. Now, there is woke comedy that's funny. I tend to be, like I said yesterday, I'm fairly woke light in terms of my politics. So, there are clever ways to do it. But this extremely over the top woke is, everybody needs to understand that they are separate from the left. They have lost their minds, and it is funny, okay? And everybody is laughing at them. And if you are them and you don't think it's funny, then everybody is also laughing at you. Okay? If you sit there navel gazing over something, that's why that what's that sign that came from 4chan, which was the Islam was right about women. Because it's like the fucking woke bots, I can't compute. It's racist, but also sexist. But if it's racist, but it's sexist, and that's what happens, because Islamophobia is like the tweet that I mentioned yesterday was the thing about policing women's bodies and mutilating women's genitals. Someone saying it's Islamophobic, and it's like, no. So those Islam was right about women thing, it's funny because you are the butt of the joke. Okay. Anyway, that's why I want to talk about this. But I wanted to just talk about some of the response to Gervais, because it's just fucking ridiculous, right? To the point where Gervais, was it this one? This is post-millennial, so, they're a bit more conservative. But the headline made me laugh. Ricky did that fucking picture. Ricky Gervais told a joke that made journalists cry. It pretty much sums it up, really. Anyway, I know this is just video of me laughing. Fucking pop-ups. Anyway, this is what we're dealing with, right? Oh, that's actually, I want to get to that point. I know I've rambled, but where are we? Yeah, so Ricky Gervais is slowly transitioning into David Brent. And then he goes with the OK Boomer one. This was funny. Guys, I think I have to leave Twitter. Someone with a pink cartoon unicorn as their Abby just called me a boomer. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. He's just roasting the shit out of these things, and they're just fucking, yep. Oh, because climate change and homing and can't own a house. It's like these whinge fucks. Whinge fuck. That's a good word. Anyway, it's funny. If you're not laughing at this, you're the butt of the joke. And Gervais wrote a parody article, right? He's the male feminist counterpoint to Titania McGrath, which is Ricky Gervais' humour is a bullying extortion racket. I'll put links to these in the blog post, right? When Ricky Gervais is trending, it's never for a positive reason. The man is incapable of saying anything kind. And the thing is, I actually saw this and I was like, why did the Spectator write a woke article? And then I realised that Gervais wrote it, so it's actually taking the piss, right? And that's where you go, there's enough of this in the real media and the mainstream stuff that when satire is posted, you do have to double check to see that it's not. It's absolutely insane, right? But it is worth fun. It is funny to see just these reactions. So, so fans, whatever. Transphobia. Apparently women having periods is transphobia, so the bar's pretty fucking low. We're all transphobes, apparently, if you listen to these dumb fucks. Okay, I prefer to listen to science. And when science tells me otherwise, I'll listen to that. Thank you. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so, but the thing that I want to point out, right, and I know I've wandered way off, and this is going to be long, but whatever, is that Ricky's a good guy. If you want to talk about people that are actually on the right side of history and who, if you know them, and I don't know Ricky Gervais, of course, but if you have followed their career since the beginning, like I have, and really paid attention to what he does, he's one of the good guys, right? Whatever you say about Obama, and being president's difficult. Whatever you say, for all intents and purposes, he's probably one of the better guys. Okay, they're telling you to shut the fuck up. All right, maybe they know something you don't. Okay, maybe me, lifelong lefty, know something that you don't. Okay, maybe you have a massive blind spot and that you need to listen, okay? Maybe calling people fascists and Nazis and that they've been radicalized is actually really fucking insulting to people, right? The idea that I can watch a wide range of things and media and then have someone turn around and say, well, Nazis are good at looking reasonable. No, maybe they're just fucking reasonable people, okay? Maybe you are good at covering your own dissonance and making excuses for your own blind spot, okay? That's what I'm trying to get across to people. And I'm not saying that I know all, because I when I first got turfed, my initial reaction was to get angry and anti-woke and fucking really challenge everything about the left. Now I've sort of bounced right back to the middle, right? Back to where I am and really looked at my values. But we need to stop making excuses for Antifa, for extreme trans rights activists, for extreme fucking liberal feminists who go on fucking TV making violent threats. We need to stop making excuses for the kids at Evergreen. We need to stop making excuses for all of this behaviour. It's not about the belief, it's about the behaviour, and the behaviour is awful and terrifying and toxic and authoritarian. Okay, and this is what I'm trying to get across. Now, again, I went on a thing because I wanted to make a point that, remember when Afterlife screened and everyone got outraged over the painting, the Aboriginal, the reproduction of the unauthorised reproduction of an Aboriginal woman's painting, right? Do you know what Ricky Gervais did? He listened, right? He actually heard that. If he was such a cunt and such a fucking, just such an asshole, right? Do you know what he did? Not only did they compensate the original art, did he offer to compensate the artist? He apologised, and they are now using the original artwork in season 2. He did everything that he could do. Where are you for praise when he does things like that, right? In psychology, there's a thing about positive and negative reinforcement, and that relationships, whether it's parents or whatever, a relationship with constantly negative reinforcement is toxic. Where's the praise when he does good? Where's the praise for all of the fucking work around animal rights that Ricky Gervais does, right? Where's the praise for, all of the fucking charities that he gives to? And again, I know Ricky Gervais doesn't need my fucking help. I'm nobody. But at the same time, this is the same with me, right? This is not just about Ricky Gervais. This is about everybody who has been labelled fucking Nazi, despite years and years of fucking credible effort and work, all of these sorts of things. Lifelong lefties being fucking called names because they disagree with an extreme, illogical, unscientific, and they defend free speech, right? And they're called these things, and it destroys their lives. They lose their jobs, right? Megan Murphy, a fucking feminist journalist, screamed at, harassed and threatened by men under the guise of "go home, transphobe." Fuck you guys. I know what you're doing. Okay? That's the reality of the situation. Good people are being fucked over by this, right? And this is the thing that there needs to be enough. Okay? I'm sick of seeing people cancelled. And I'm not talking about, rich people can survive being cancelled. Louis C.K. will come back and he'll be fine and he'll be funny and all is forgiven, right? Except by the people who will never fucking forgive him, no matter what he does, right? But everyday people like me, right? I'm pretty sure that I've lost clients or, not gotten clients because I've started speaking up about certain issues, right? I've lost friends, definitely, right? Because people can't tolerate a little bit of fucking dissonance. So maybe if people that that traditionally have been fairly fucking good and right and their heart's in the right place, maybe you're the one that's wrong. Okay? You're wrong. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this thing, okay? With Fuckwit Fridays, I'm going to start showcasing the extremes of stupidity in the woke movement and on the right. But again, I don't feel that that's my place because I don't belong there, okay? I criticise the left because I'm trying to get people to fucking see what's going on with these extremists, okay? Changing, gender identity, to replace sex-based rights that women have fought hundreds of years for, fucking by stealth, with no regard. And anybody who says, but wait a minute, maybe a 6'3" man shouldn't play cricket because cricketers have died from a ball to the face, okay? That's, you get fucking hate, you get threats, deplatformed, right? So I'm hoping that I can make it a little bit safer for people to speak out. I'm taking one for the team and hoping that the grown-ups take over. But I just wanted to make it clear, right? I fucking hate this bullshit cancel culture, toxic fucking shit. I'm with these guys, and if you defend this stuff, you're part of the problem, you're the butt of the joke, and yeah. So anyway, this has gone for an hour. It's Friday, but I really have to go. I've got so much work to do today and I really should have just not talked. I'll put an article up and it's got links to some of these things. I've got a lot of resources for this one. It might take me a bit longer. I don't know what's wrong with the chat. It's driving me fucking nuts. So, anyway, so have a great weekend. I might do one on the weekend in the afternoon to see if we can sort of deal with time zones, because I've got like people who watch across like the world and stuff. I'll see how we go. But I'm just, I'd rather just do 5 days. I think that's technically daily, right? Anyway, thank you for your precious life seconds. If you want to support me, go to my website, tayasmith.com.au. There's a podcast version of this on the blog post that I post if you don't want to watch the video. And if you're listening to the podcast, there's a video version, which is a lot better because you're actually watching me speak and move and you can see my body language. But I understand if you can't do that. So thank you. I love you. And thanks for watching.